What are all the books on my shelf? That is what Survival Commando would like to know. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out. I have a link in the bottom. He's an amazing guy, loves camel. So, to show you the books I have on my shelf, some of them are very hand-picked, and some of them are garbage. So, let's start off with this one here. It's called Stocking Up, as you can see, is what it's called. They're both the same. I had seen where one looked different from the other, and I thought, well, I'm going to pick them both up. This literally is, and you can only get this on eBay if you search it, and it's called Stocking Up, How to Preserve the Foods You Grow. This is a special edition. This one is just a regular one. So, special edition's a little prettier. But literally, and it's cheap actually, you can get it for probably $5. If you'll notice, it talks about putting a freezer in the ground to make yourself a root cellar. This particular book, I would suggest every prepper go find and buy. It talks about dairy products, storing eggs, all kinds of recipes, firewood, drying beets, drying onions, how about savory cabbage rolls, okay? I came across this book from an old Amish guy. He was like in his 70s. And he held the book up once, and I said, what book is that? And he told me the name, and I went and bought not one, but two. One's a special edition. Go pick up this book. Super cheap. Get them on eBay. They're old. Other things I have that sometimes I'll take in my backpack is, for example, I got these on eBay. Okay, this talks about all the different snakes in my area, and you'll notice we have a few. A lot of poisonous snakes here, so sometimes I'll take that with me. And then spiders was another one I got, which tells me all about the spiders in Tennessee. Thought it might be nice to know what they are when I come across them. I think those are amazing inside your backpack. All right. This is Mennonite Community Cookbook, is what this is. I especially like the rings. And again, it's just loaded, okay, with recipes like crazy. Now, I'm not sure if I can show you what that is. But it's just called Mennonite Community Cookbook, Favorite Family Recipe by Mary Emma Showalter. Is what that is. This is a really good book, too. If you like recipes. This one is garbage. How about the Bushcraft box set? Dave Cannonberry. Dave Bullshitter. You've heard a lot of people review these books. Dust on this is amazing. These are garbage, I'll tell you right now. When you're going to talk about snares and you're going to talk about setups, you require, well, at least in my view, you require illustrations. And it doesn't even have to be colored pictures. It doesn't have to be photographed, even though I don't know why it's not. I would have expected, more of that. This is what you're kind of looking at with these books. Do you see anything there? Anything at all? They do have some illustrations. Okay. Like, how about we build a fire bundle? I mean, give me a break. Really? It's mainly just a bunch of writing and some stories. Here's what it is. He did put, I don't know, 2 pages of some colored pictures in it. That's it. I mean, all I can do is speak from my own experience. I didn't like them. I did try to read them. They're more like storybooks. I didn't get into it by maybe 20, 30 pages. I even checked different ones, and I bought the whole set. He made money off me, but hey, what are you going to do? How about this one? Nature's Garden Edible Wild Plants. Any good? To be honest with you, it's one of the best edible plants books I've ever bought. Do you know why? It's loaded with these. It's loaded with colored pictures, what it looks like in spring, what it looks like in fall. I mean, this thing is amazing. If it's a full tree, if it's not, look at that. This book is called Nature's Garden, A Guide to Identifying, Harvesting, Preparing Edible Wild Plants by Samuel Thayer, I guess. As you can see down at the bottom. Okay. I'll put it this way. Not sure you can see it. But it's Samuel, Thayer, is what this is. Buy this. Definitely buy this. Good book. How about this one? This is a field guide. Now, when you say field guide, you get a much smaller version where you can keep it in your backpack. So let me show you. 90% of this book is like this. I do expect smaller writing in a field guide, but I don't understand why they're drawing the plants. I don't get it. Now, he does have, a few colored pictures in the middle, which seemed to be a big thing one day, or one of the years, where they put like 10 colored pictures in the middle, but the rest of everything was hand-drawn. When it comes to edible plants, you want colored pictures. So I would say this is garbage. There are many plants out there that look identical, to where one's poisonous and one's edible. And unless you know exactly what it is and you critique over it, right down to the buds, to the bark, to the roots, I mean, you could end up eating something poison. There was a story out there about a young man that went to Alaska and died in some bus because he ate the wrong weed because he thought it was the good one and it was the poison one, and he ate so much of it killed him. Not a very bright guy. It's actually a movie on that too. Another one, which is a really good one, which you would think is phony, is the Survival Handbook. And it's hardcover. It's actually really, really good book. It is. The whole book is well thought out. Talks about terrain. Talks about layering systems. Very illustrated. For a complete new person, they would definitely understand this book. Has knots, everything under it. I will see if I can find some of these books on Amazon. I'll post a link in the bottom for you. Talks about radios, communications, and everything. The Survival, Handbook. Definitely buy this one. Good book. How about a book on mushrooms? And mushrooms are very dangerous. You have to be very, very particular on what you pick, what you eat, and really understand what you're doing. This book is called Mushrooms of the Southeast by Todd F. Elliott and Stephen L. Stevenson. And it is a really good book on mushrooms. It talks about everything from your truffles to you name it. The entire book is full of colored pictures the way it should be. And you definitely want colored pictures when it comes to mushrooms. Eat the wrong one and you die. You're better off when you eat things like this and you don't know what you're doing. You're better off eating a very tiny piece. And then kind of wait 24 hours and see if your stomach gets upset, if it gets sore. But if you sit down and you start eating this, then you're going to make yourself severely sick. Another good one. This is a little one. And this thing is awesome. It really is. Now, with this particular book, you can do illustrations with this, okay? And this is called The Trapper's Bible. It takes care of snares, path guards. It's written by Dale Martin. Extremely thin. Really light. And it even talks about large animal snares, like a deer. And to give you an idea, there's a pretty basic snare. I've set those up a lot, is what I've done. So, the Trapper Bible, oh yeah, go buy that one. Definitely buy. Okay. I also have Wilderness Navigation, 3rd edition by Bob Burns and Mike Burns. That's how it looks. It's all about compasses. I thought I understood everything about compasses because of my age, but I really didn't. There's things I actually learned in here I did not know. So elevations, maps, contour lines, you name it, give you an idea. Okay. It does talk about everything. It can get complicated. But if you really want to understand your compass, Wilderness Navigation is your book. Definitely go get it. Worth its weight in gold if you want to know. Simple book called Night Sky. This was for photography, understanding slow motion videos, stuff like that. Again, another photography book I picked up. Got a Webster Standard Dictionary. Got to have one of those, right? This one is SAS Survival Handbook by John Lofty. The ultimate guide to survival anywhere. So, these books are amazing. This even comes in a tiny handbook. Not sure you can read the writing very good. But you'll notice it talks about everything from picking up people to fires. You name it. Definitely worth a book to get. What else we got here? Again, a camera book. Another camera book. I had quite a few of them. Probably the best book out of this entire collection is that one. Understand your rights. If you don't, then you're just going to get screwed. Go pick one of those up. How about understanding birds? A lot of times, and I would not recommend this one, it really is not a very good bird book, but a lot of times it's nice just to sit and look at the birds and see if you can identify them. That's just a thing of me, is what it is. Another edible plant. Is it any good? It's actually one of the better ones. It is loaded throughout the book with colored pictures everywhere. Okay. This is called The Edible Wild Plants, a North American Field Guide to Over 200 Natural Foods. And that's what it looks like there. Hope my fingers aren't in the way. And like I said, I'll try and find these and put links at the bottom if I can. This one's a good one. Very good one. Little photography handbook. This was a book I found very difficult to pick up. And I really had to look around for it. I think I finally found one on eBay for an affordable price. And it's referred to as Birds of Land Between the Lakes. A lot of times I go to Land Between the Lakes because it's only a couple hours away, and I do a lot of camping and fishing and different things over there. And I thought this might be a pretty cool book to pick up. It's mostly text inside. It's like a story. It does display birds and stuff. I wouldn't say it's the greatest. It does have some photos in the middle. And it's text by David H. Snyder. Photography by Fred J. Alsop III. But it's the only one you can pretty much get on Land Between the Lakes, to be honest with you. This is a manual that I have. Now, what I'm going to show you here is not for the faint heart, okay? If you can afford these, they're worth buying. Knots of Ropework. It is an encyclopedia on knots. So, for example, it is a lot of color photos in it. This is a really good book for learning knots and understanding knots. But you'll see there's a difference in thickness, you know, compared to these two. You know, there is a big difference. If you can't afford this next one I'm going to show you, then go get this one. This is actually books of knots. I had to save money to buy this book. This is probably one of my most expensive books out of all of them. This man has a history. I think his family's the one making money off him now. Clifford W. Ashley. Okay. If there's a knot out there, this guy did it. Okay, some of them are very complicated. Alright, this guy must have loved knots like no tomorrow. And heavy illustration, heavy text. I mean, hardcovered. It is the only book in the world for knots. Is what it is. More so than anything else. So I got a collection of knots, recipes, survival, snares, you name it. And I have, this was sent to me by a YouTuber, and it's a magazine about the coronavirus, and I thought, you know, this thing might be a collector's item one day. I don't know. So I thought it was pretty cool when I got it. But that's pretty much it. And like I said, some of the books I have are worth buying. Like Ashley, Book of Knots. I'm telling you, if you can afford it, go buy it. It's the best book you'll ever have. Now, sometimes I sit down with my knot books when I'm bored, and I'll sit here at this desk and I'll make some knots. Some knots take me a good hour to figure out when I'm sitting there messing with them. Some people read books on drama, romance. I don't. I buy books for learning. I don't buy books for reading about romance. So to me, it's very important. I also have books in case shit hits the fan, because I don't believe your computers or your iPods or your iPhones or your anything is going to be working. And it would be nice to go back on some of these books and say, okay, the grid has gone down. There's no power. Need to refresh my memory on a snare. Or how do you kill a pig and skin it and take the hairs off? Or stuff like this. The one book by the Amish that I have two of that I talked about talks about all that stuff. So, and there's a big difference between skinning a deer and skinning a pig. Big difference. So, I thought it might be nice to know a lot of this stuff in case SHTF happened. It's not a huge library, but I figure it's enough to cover everything I need in case SHTF happens. And some of it, like my camera books, for example, and I have a few of these, learning photography is not easy. And but if you're into it, then it's something that you'll learn from. So, Survival Commando, that is my library of books. Catch you guys on the next one.